Rohit was the kind of man everyone in the apartment complex noticed but rarely spoke to. He was quiet, diligent, and always impeccably dressed for work. Every morning, without fail, he would step out of his small flat in a crisp suit, tie perfectly knotted, briefcase in hand, and head to the bus stop. He wasn't rich, but he had a sense of dignity that came from discipline. On one particularly hurried morning, fate decided to play a cruel trick on him. He overslept, the alarm never rang, and he had an important meeting waiting at the office. Heart pounding, Rohit rushed through his routine. He ironed his shirt, slipped on his coat, tied his tie, and grabbed his briefcase. In his haste, he completely forgot one crucial piece of clothing, his pants. Unaware of his mistake, Rohit locked his door and stepped into the open walkway of the apartment building. It was only when a peal of laughter echoed from above that reality hit him. "Are you serious, Mr. Perfect?" a cheerful voice teased. Rohit froze. Looking up, he saw Neha, his neighbor from the floor above. She leaned casually over her balcony, dressed in a white t-shirt and denim shorts, grinning from ear to ear. Her eyes sparkled mischievously as she pointed down. "You're going to work like that?" she giggled, covering her mouth. Rohit glanced down and his heart dropped. Instead of trousers, he was wearing only his gray boxers. His legs were bare, pale against the morning light, and his professional look was completely ruined. His ears turned red with embarrassment. I overslept," he stammered, fumbling with his briefcase. Neha laughed harder, almost doubling over. "Well, at least you remembered your tie. That's something, isn't it?" Rohit wanted the ground to swallow him whole. Without saying another word, he rushed back inside, shutting his door with a bang. Behind him, Neha's laughter lingered in the air like a song he didn't want to hear. That evening, when he returned home properly dressed, the story had already spread. Neha had clearly shared the incident with other neighbors. A few people chuckled in the hallway, and children whispered, "That's the uncle who forgot his pants." Rohit kept his head down and walked past them. Inside, though, shame burned inside him. Why did people delight so much in someone else's mistake? The next morning, Rohit woke earlier than usual, determined never to repeat the blunder. As he tightened his tie in the mirror, he muttered to himself, "No more mistakes." But little did he know, life was preparing him for something far greater than an embarrassing moment. At around 8 a.m., a piercing scream shattered the calm of the apartment complex. Rohit, just about to leave for work, froze in his tracks. The sound was coming from above, Neha's flat. Within seconds, smoke began to billow out of her kitchen window. "Fire! Fire!" someone shouted. Neighbors gathered in the courtyard below, pointing and panicking. Flames flickered through the window as the smoke grew thicker. People yelled for help, but nobody dared step inside. The fire department was called, but it would take time before they arrived. Inside, Neha's voice was hoarse with fear. "Help! Somebody, please," she screamed, coughing violently. Rohit didn't think twice. He dropped his briefcase on the ground, yanked off his coat, and dashed up the stairs. Through the thick smoke, Rohit sees Neha trapped behind a half-collapsed wooden door. Summoning all his strength, he pulls the door away and frees her. Neha gasps in terror, "Rohit!" Her wide eyes glisten with fear. Rohit firmly says, "Hold on to me." He wraps his coat around her. They move through the collapsing staircase. Flames lick the walls, sparks rain down, but Rohit never lets go of her hand. Finally, they burst out into the cool night air, escaping the fire. Neha collapses on the ground, coughing hard. A crowd rushes forward with water and blankets. An ambulance screeches to a halt. Medics run toward them. Neha's trembling fingers clutch Rohit's hand tightly, tears streaming down her face. She whispers, "You risked your life, for me." Breathing heavily, Rohit murmurs, "That's all that matters." His strength fades with each word. The medics try to reach him, but Rohit shakes his head. His gaze never leaves Neha. In his final moment, he whispers, "Live, Neha, live for both of us." His eyes close forever. Neha screams his name, clutching his hand as grief floods the night. The fire behind them slowly turns to ashes, but in Neha's heart, Rohit's sacrifice burns brighter than any flame. Years later, Neha opens a small library named Rohit's Light. On the wall hangs his picture, with the words, "He lived not for himself, but so that I could live." As children borrow books, Neha sees the same spark she once saw in Rohit's eyes. His memory glows like an eternal flame, living forever through her courage and love. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Text to Heart for more inspiring and emotional stories.